We've been talking about DPDP Act and grievances. Let us now talk about why it is relevant and important to spread privacy awareness inside and outside an organization and for the data principles whose data is being used. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see a new content on data privacy. And as said, we are going to talk about why is it important to spread awareness related to privacy matters. Let's touch base quickly upon what is privacy. Privacy is simple. It's simply my control over my own personal data. I want to decide with whom am I sharing this data. What extent of data am I sharing? Am I required to provide all the information? So how do I decide that? Until I know what is the purpose, why you need my data. So first of all, I need to know the purpose of why you need the data. What are you going to do with it? And then I would decide how much part I want to share it with you, and then I would decide whether I want to allow you to share it with any other third party. Again, I need to know the purpose why you need to share my personal information with a third party. Purpose could be any. It could be related to a small organization. It could be related to larger organizations. But when I am sure about the purpose, I would decide what volume of data, what type of data I want to share, and whether I want you to further share it to any third party or not. And that is what is privacy is. Why am I doing all this? Because I want to avoid providing you too much of information which can get misused later. But what is this personal data? This personal data is your personal information. Any piece of information which either individually or collectively helps you identify an individual. For example, name. Now you can always debate that while name is a personal data, but it does not always 100% identify because name is not unique. But the name in combination with address, the name with phone numbers, the name with email ID would generally be unique, right? One person would have a particular email ID. Email ID is not something that can get common. Phone numbers are not something that get common. Address is generally unique with a person. So these are all identifiers to identify that person. Mr. XYZ living in colony X would stay the same. Any XYZ might be living in colony Y also, but then the identity of the one living in X would be established with his name XYZ and his colony X, right? Other informations which are personal, and we also classify them as sensitive personal information, financial details, employment details, biometrics, healthcare records. These are all sensitive because loss or even breach in the sense someone else knows it. So when we talk of privacy, it is not that you have lost your information, it is that someone else also knows it. Then we also classify this as a sensitive personal data because it can harm me. You can disturb me if you know my clear healthcare records, you can disturb me if you know my employment details and several other things. We can get into the details in other videos about how each one of them impacts, right? Especially my personal choices and preferences. And all these things get very easily tracked today. How do you get tracked easily today? You have online. Everything is online, right? So why is it important to take care of privacy? That is because I want to stay away from unauthorized access. I want to avoid misuse of my personal information. For example, these are two examples. It's only my bankers and my family who need to know my financials. Bankers also don't need to know my financials only if I am applying for a loan or a credit card or something of that kind. Otherwise, they need my address and my phone number and my email ID, and that can be provided with Aadhaar and PAN card, nothing else. Similarly, my doctors who are going to work on me and my family who would be concerned, they are the only people who need to know my health records. Even my regular chemist, he would know the names of the medicines and he can judge what they are used for. But he does not need to know, for example, if I am diabetic, he does not need to know what is my HbA1c, right? He can just give me the medicine based on the medicine I ordered it, right? And diabetic medicines, you don't even need a prescription, right? So why should he know what is the level of diabetics until he's too close a friend or until I am taking his medical advice, right? So information is getting spread through online shopping. You have aggregators, not only for shopping but even for financial assistances, ticketing aggregators, right? You get onto an aggregator who can give you all the options of a travel itinerary. You decide the option, it will go to that website of that particular airline, internally book a ticket for you, take your financial information, right? So everything is available, logically available on the web if it is not carefully protected, and then it can be misused. So how is the government of India helping us in ensuring that our data is kept private? Government of India has brought up the Indian DPDP Act 2023, which focuses on our rights towards processing our personal data. Right? The processing is consent based, so whenever you are sharing your data with someone, as I started initially, what's the purpose? And my choice, my decision. So when it comes to my choice and my decision, then you are actually taking my consent whether and what am I sharing with you. It helps you build up stricter data processing practices. When we say processing with reference to DPDP Act, we are talking of collection, storage, usage, third-party disclosures and deletions, right? It is not just processing in processing terms only, okay? And then obviously, if the processing activities are stricter, then the accountability of fiduciaries are increased. And from the government point of view, it is not only that they have a law and a set of rules that the fiduciaries have to follow and be compliant to, they have a board which can review their compliance regularly, where you can go and escalate if you are not happy with the processing habits. And then on top of the board, they have an appellate tribunal also, that even if you are not satisfied with the board, or maybe fiduciary is not satisfied with the board, then you can go to the appellate tribunal and tell them that we are not satisfied and we need your intervention. So that's the way the government of India is helping the citizens to take care of their personal data, and therefore it becomes very important for the citizens to know that there is a law for them. Privacy is a fundamental right? So this is something that many citizens still do not know. So the government should promote privacy and spread privacy awareness. Not only government, the fiduciaries who are collecting and processing the data, and associations who are dealing with personal data or privacy related things. It's our responsibility to promote privacy and spread the privacy awareness. Social media is one of the good platforms to do that. Government should promote it as good as any other initiative, like they do Pulse Polio. They should do privacy rights. Privacy is a fundamental right, so government is supposed to promote it. And fiduciaries should also promote it through their own marketing. Fiduciaries should have a proper consent mechanism system. They should have privacy notices. They should regularly send updates on emails and phone numbers to their data principals, publish privacy notices on their websites, update them regularly and again send alerts, collect consents, talk about their grievance redressal mechanism so that a dissatisfied principal is taken care of. So because it's our fundamental right, because apart from being a right, it also helps us protect our personal information, gives us the control of controlling our personal information. It becomes moral responsibility of the fiduciary, the government, as well as us collectively to make sure that maximum possible people are aware of privacy rules and laws and privacy systems. So that's about promoting privacy awareness. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.